at certain point in time, I worked in the Soviet Union, and then after it broke and became Russia, I worked there for 7 years. Okay, and eventually I left Russia. These were the most productive years of my life, because I came to the decision, as the political situation is going downhill, that we will not be able to do the main thing why I was doing all of this, to actually prepare the cells for the whole world in that country. Situation became so unreliable, and the control of the country was so much in the hands of mafia that I could not risk it to actually, launch my preparation of cells in that country and spread them throughout the world, because it was clear to me that I lost control over the situation. End of discussion. So you see, stem cell transplantation, if you would observe it, you would say, oh, what is a piece of cake? It's a very simple procedure. These are basically just injections, kind of specialized injections. But if you are training, you can do it boom, boom, boom. A treatment of a small child, takes 3, 4, 5 minutes, and you are finished. But what is complicated is the preparation. Preparation of cells is not a piece of cake. Because not only that you have to, the main thing is, even US FDA, is not objecting to this, but they are saying, our main concern is safety. You must not cause or do harm to the patient. We don't care if the therapy, will not be as effective, in certain diseases until more experience is gained. But we don't want this treatment to cause harm to a single patient. US FDA, to a great surprise, issued in 1996 the first guidelines about dealing with animal fetal cells and tissues, actually even organs, which came as a complete shock, because prior to that they used to call this a Frankenstein treatment, and then from one day to the next, they turned around because I guess they recognized that the preference being the human fetal cells was just very difficult to actually carry out, because if they were trying to talk about human fetal cell transplantation, there was only one place in the whole country, in Philadelphia, collecting human fetuses, and these fetuses from Philadelphia were shipped all over the country, to be used for preparation of cells. But if you can imagine, we will get to it later, the problem is with human fetal cells is that the human fetus, if it is being transported, is deteriorating. Is not the same thing anymore after it has been on the road for 2 or 3 days. Okay. One word of warning to the public: beware of fancy, professional-looking websites selling cell transplantation. That is one of the easiest way to guarantee you that there is a bunch of fraudsters behind it. This began first time, about 5 years ago in Europe, where a company called Advanced Cell Therapy created a beautiful website, absolutely the best, shockingly best, okay? And they set up a clinic in Rotterdam, Netherlands, and they were charging for one implantation $20,000. And they had a series of articles, and when I looked at it, I said, now this is nonsense. How come that I have never seen any one of these articles? See, the allegedly published medical journal articles, with very professional looking names, I never heard of them. They didn't exist. People who were behind it was American female and South African male living in Cape Town. Okay, she was a former dancer, he was something, and so on and so forth. It became so bad that CIA locked them up, and the BBC, kind of officially actually uncovered this fraud and so on and so forth. Now these kind of websites, they are in the United States, probably about 25 as we speak, that are selling, this type of therapy in the most beautiful ways, and that is what public is buying. I have to give another warning, which is really most unpleasant to speak about. American patients have the silly habit, that whenever they think about cell transplantation, they go to their own doctor and ask him what he thinks about it. Now, but they failed to ask the first question: doctor, do you know anything about cell transplantation or stem cell transplantation? Because no American doctor does. Okay, number one. And number two, because they are scared to death of the pharmaceutical industry. All right. They don't even dare to do anything about it unless they have the idea to set up quickly the clinic and for the adult autologous stem cell transplantation. If American patient goes to a physician and asks him this question, the answer with 100% guarantee will be, don't do it, it's dangerous, you may die. Now that is total lie. Every one word of it, you see. As I will be talking about later, this therapy has been around for over 80 years. In Germany alone, 5 million patients have been treated between 1950 and 1990. And not a single patient ever died from cell transplantation of any kind, anywhere in the world. You know, that is a reality of fact. Okay, this is in reality the safest treatment, you know, that medicine has known and knows. You see, and this is the truth. You know, later on in the when we discuss scientific facts, you will learn one thing, that the fetal precursor stem cells of animal fetal origin are equally effective and safer than for the patient treatment as those of human fetal origin. So that all of the difficulties that with collection of human fetuses are truly, totally unnecessary. Okay? In Western Europe, specifically in Germany, no one has received a human fetal cell transplantation. Reasons are very obvious. You see, in Western Europe, this is not a matter of laws. It's a matter of ethics, it's a matter of morals, and it's a matter of religious feelings, which have to be respected. Now, in Germany, the added fact is the fact that, you know, that Hitler, during Second War, you know, prior to Second World War, in the concentration camps, you know, was conducting human experiments. Okay, and as a result of it, you know, there is no way that any German parliament would ever give an approval for use of human fetal material for any sort of therapy or any experimentation, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now, so this is important now. Now, why did I use the word safer? That the animal fetal cells are safer. Okay? Now that is in reality appearing in that regulation of US FDA issued in 1996. Because US FDA is saying following: if you use animal fetuses for preparation of cells, these animals have to come from a closed colony. In other words, you cannot use any animals roaming free that are not domesticated. And among those that are domesticated, there must be those that actually, you know, have been domesticated long enough so they are able to live in an enclosed community in total separation from the rest of the world. Now, we use for the preparation of cells, you know, rabbit fetuses. Okay. Now, how do you get a closed colony of rabbits? You first of all have to have a physical plant, so-called rabbit hole. Rabbit holes are generally, you know, built for 1,000 cages. Okay, so the 1,000 rabbits lives isolated from the rest of the world. After you build the physical plant, you have to bring rabbits from another certified closed colony, usually in another country, because they are not so frequent, and bring them to your rabbit hole. And because rabbits procreate very fast, you know, you can start with 50 rabbits, and in 1 year you will have 1,000 rabbits. Okay, and these rabbits are total isolation. As many years as I've worked in this field, I was inside of the rabbit hole one time when it was closed down for cleaning. Only people that handle the rabbits, the simple, you know, farmers, and the one veterinarian that, you know, goes for his weekly visit, are the only contact between those rabbits and the human race, because we are their enemies. We can transfer possibly some unknown infections, which can wipe out, you know, these these rabbits very fast. Okay. Now, one has to say, if we would use human fetal cell transplantation, Can you imagine that the human beings can be kept in that closed colony? Because if that closed colony of rabbits should receive certification, they have to live there for 30 generations. That means that's minimum 3 years under close observation and collecting all the data before you get a certification from World Health Organization that this closed colony contains rabbits that can be used for preparation of any cells for implantation. Now, that of course is totally inapplicable to human being, and as a result of it, this safety factor is unattainable when you are using human fetuses, and so on and so forth. That is the first item,